Hi everyone, this is Mr. Buro from Staten Island Tech, and I'm going to show you today how to draw circles in AutoCAD as well as arcs. There's a lot of different ways to draw a circle in AutoCAD. The default is drawing it by radius, so we'll click that first. When you're drawing a circle by radius, the first thing you're asked to do is specify a center point. I'm going to specify a center point of 5,5 at first, just to show you that I can do that by coordinate entry. And then if you observe what on the screen, the pointing device or the mouse is actually measuring the radius of the circle very plainly right there. And to show you exactly what happens if I type here the number 5, you'll see that it fits very nicely into the particular area that I had set. So this is a circle whose radius is 5. I can go ahead and choose the diameter version of the circle, and then as soon as I click somewhere to set the center point, you see now that the pointing device is actually showing a diameter, not in the way that you would think, because again, you're first selecting the center point of the circle, and now in effect you're measuring the diameter of the circle with the mouse. So I can go ahead and click anywhere I want, and you could see that happening. Or, just for comparison's sake, I'll type in the number 5 again, and you should see a circle who's half the size, because this one had a diameter of 5 and the first one had a radius of 5. Just so you know, when you are in a particular circle command, you could switch it on the fly between diameter and radius, or even before you pick a center point, you could pick between the other creation methods. Okay, so let's take a look at a 2-point circle. A 2-point circle is you drawing a circle based on its diameter, and I'll show you what I mean by that. First, I'll randomly drop 2 separated lines on the screen. So I did not measure these lines at all, and I certainly don't know what the measurement in between those 2 endpoints are, but I'm about to connect a circle between those 2 endpoints by picking 2-point circle and then selecting this endpoint as one and this as another. Before I accept the selection, I want you to notice that my mouse has basically drawn the diameter of the circle. So the 2 points that you're selecting, in effect, are the diameter of the circle. And I have that right there. I'll do that again. This time I'll draw 3 random lines, and I'll choose a 3-point circle, and this time we're not going to be dealing with the diameter. We're just going to be specifying 3 points that the circle is hitting. Okay, and in effect, what I'm drawing here are 2 chords of the circle. I drew 1 chord from here to here, and then I'm going to attach over here and draw another chord. And that circle is now connecting those 3 lines, because that's the 3 points that I chose that happen to be on the circle. So that's a 3-point circle. There are a couple of other ways to draw circles, and this one you're going to have to think about a little math, a little bit more math than before. And they involve tangent, tangent, radius, and tangent, tangent, tangent. Well, if you take a look at the pictures, you can kind of see what's going on here. Maybe I'll set one line over here and another line over here. And just so you know, in between the lines I have a distance of about 4 units, between 3 and 7 units actually. So I'm just going to do that. Then I'm going to select the circle for tangent, tangent, radius. The first thing it says is to select an object in which the first tangent will be, so this one. If you see the green thing that pops up, that's called a deferred tangent. So meaning it's going to be tangent to this line, but we don't know where yet. So I'll click that. And then I'll click this one too, because this is the second line that I want it to be tangent to. And then after I do that, I can specify the radius of the circle. Maybe I'd like the radius to be maybe 2.5 in this case. And it will find the exact position to where this circle will have a radius of 2.5 and it's tangent to those 2 pieces. And I could do that again, select the same pieces, and then do a radius of 3, and you'll see it kind of pushes it into a different position, all to achieve what I had asked for. The last one is the tangent, tangent, radius, the tangent, tangent, tangent function, and that one, you're really just clicking on stuff. To show this one, I think I'm going to just draw 3 circles, like that, and then I'm going to draw the circle using tangent, tangent, radius, as you could see right here, and it'll be tangent to 3 objects. And I'll turn that to be blue before I do anything. So first tangent point somewhere over here, second tangent point somewhere over here, third tangent point somewhere over here, and you can see it fits that blue circle perfectly within those objects. If you didn't know, guess I should have said this before, tangent means that it's touching the object at exactly one point without crossing it. So that's how you draw circles with respect to radius, diameter, 2-point, 3-point, tangent, tangent, radius, and then tangent, tangent, tangent. I'm going to slide this over, and let's do arcs now. Arcs, by default, are drawn as 3-point arcs. This one involves very little measurement. And remember, AutoCAD, by default, thinks of angular measurement in a counterclockwise fashion. So, when I start to draw this arc, I'm selecting 1 point, and then another point, and as you can see, the arc is now attached to those 2 points, and I'm now going to draw the third point. If I have the third point over here, you can see the arc is being drawn counterclockwise, and if I draw the third point over here, I could turn it to be clockwise. So you have a little bit of options there, or some flexibility. Let me turn my coloring back to white. Now, let's see some other things. I'm going to draw a line here just so I have some stuff to measure with, and I'll erase this piece. Now, let's take a look at some of the other options. We have 9 or 10 other options here. We have 3 options that are referenced to the start point, center point, and then 3 options that are referencing the start point, end point, and then 3 options are referencing the center point, start point. So the first we'll talk about is the start and end point, and then radius. So if I click on that one, I'll have a starting point of here, just randomly selecting, and then an ending point here, again randomly selecting. And then as you can see, as I move my mouse, I can kind of like measure out a radius, but there's a very small range of radii that work for this. So like maybe something around between a 6 and an 8. So if I type in the number 7, that arc will have a radius of 7 and hit the starting and end points that I specified. That's like a good way to see like the limitations of that particular thing. If I do start, end, direction, then I can again specify 2 points and then use the mouse to kind of point the direction of the tangent line to that particular arc, as you can see. Some more flexibility with that, but not accurate. Again, you can do things with mathematical accuracy, or maybe you just need like a visual approach sometimes. So that's the start, end, direction. Now let's try starting with center points. So if I do center and then start with a length for an arc length, or center, start, end, maybe that's better. I'll do that. So now on this line, I'm going to specify the midpoint of the line as the center of the arc. Then I'm going to specify this end point as a start and this end point as an end. So now I've created an arc that is perfectly aligned with that particular line. It was very easy. So that looks like something that I should have chosen for that particular situation. I'll go ahead and erase this again, and I'll try another one. Let's try start, center, end. So let's do now, I'll purposely pick the edge as a starting point, and then the center point, I'm not going to choose a midpoint, I'm going to choose further out, like over here. So that'll be the center of the arc, and as you can see, as the arc is drawn out, I can't really fit it onto the line, but if I can still snap to that end point, if I do that, then the arc still fits perfectly as a beginning point and an end point on the plane of the line, but it's not attached because mathematically it was impossible. I think you get the idea. You'll be able to choose one of these options to fit whatever need that you have necessary. Be very thoughtful and planned in the process of choosing which option you want. And then once you have an arc on the screen, the last thing I'll say is that you can continue drawing arcs from there by hitting the continue button. And then that is something that you can go ahead and continuously repeat the command to keep attaching arcs onto the last arc that you drew, which is a pretty useful feature as well. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you around.